Hello, everybody. Good evening. It is I, Claude the Bawles, with the ghost, the gangster ghost Bawles, and hopefully some other people will come on the show too. We have a little bit of a chat, see what's been going on. I've been so happy with the channel at the moment. I don't have many subscribers, but I'm getting lots of views, especially on some. They just go crazy. And of course, others, there's not many people to have a look, but I'm so happy. I think I compare with my statistics, I cannot say that word, very well. So I'm so happy, and I'm happy to see the Gangster Ghost putting up more videos. And there's also been the Big Bad Mama, been quite busy too, I think. Is that right, Logan?
Yeah,
You've seen many from Big Bad Mama too?
yeah.
Yeah.
And today's the first day of Hanukkah.
Oh, right. Oh well. See, yeah, interesting. And
We
do you do any
had,
celebrations?
um, I told Skylar about that, but he doesn't celebrate any holidays.
Oh,
Okay.
right. So he doesn't.
Uh,
It's
uh,
been interesting to see. Oh, yes. Carry on.
go ahead.
No, no, no. You go first.
Oh, what do you think of that uh, video Eminem made? I felt bad for her.
What happened there? What happened?
Remember that video she made the other day?
Yes.
Yeah, I felt bad for her.
Ah, well.
What do you think?
Yeah, but, life is full of choices. She's got
Yeah,
friends on this channel, and she can come to this channel.
yeah.
She can run her own things. We're happy to go on her channel. Or she can go on that other channel and have people attack her. It's a pretty obvious choice to me. Come on this one, or do her own one, or on your one. They're all safe channels. They're all good for discussion. Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's what I think she should do. Um,
yeah.
yeah. Did you see the one from Big Bad Mama on the Kent Hovind and Jeffrey Dahmer? Did you see that
Yeah.
one?
Oh, I need to tell you something. Matt Powell? He says
Hmm.
that Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't saved because he was given over to a reprobate mind.
Well, it's different to what his boss Kent says. Kent said that he saw
Yeah,
his video
I
and
remember
bang. Hmm.
him saying that before.
Hmm. I mean, it just
Was
shows you how immoral,
I think it
immoral
might have
he is.
been.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you
yeah.
think about it,
It was an.
Dharma could be in heaven
Go ahead.
with his God, and the people he murdered and ate could be in hell. Talk about the wrong way round.
What if part of them are in heaven with him in his stomach?
I couldn't stand it. I wouldn't want to go there. I wouldn't want to be there with Owen either, because imagine him groveling every day. Oh, yes, God, no, God. And not that I believe it's true, but God would eventually say, oh, go away. You know the program The Simpsons,
Yeah,
and you have the Reverend Lovejoy,
yeah.
and then Homer's or different people are always bothering him, and he gets sick of it. He wants them to just go away. Well, in heaven, the Reverend Lovejoy would be God, and then Hovind would be Homer and all the others. What do we do
Ned
this?
Flanders.
Yeah, I've got to praise you today. Oh, I'm praising you more. Load of rubbish.
Uh, what if you missed the tunnel and became a ghost?
Well, that would be interesting. I guess I could go through walls if I was a ghost, could I?
Yeah, I would hunt Steven.
Would you really? Oh.
I would take it. Yeah, he put his cup down. I'd pick it up and put it somewhere else.
Ooh. Do you think he would like that? Hunt or haunt?
Hunt, I mean.
Oh, look, in the we have some people in the chat. Oh, sorry, hello.
Uh,
Can you see the chat?
yeah.
Yeah.
Ho-
So
Ho-
here we go.
Hovind is a Mormon.
I don't think it's Mormon. I think it's
Oh.
moron.
Well,
It's probably more
greetings.
accurate. Hmm.
Okay.
And there's Fanny. Oh my God, I'm
Who's that?
live with Claude of Bawles. Oh, Fanny comments on a lot of my videos. She's very funny. And she says, "Viva la Bawles." You know what that means? Do you know what that means?
I
It means
always
long
hear
live.
that. Oh,
Long live the balls. And then she has this happy balls day to us. Happy balls day to us. This is your balls day song. It isn't very long.
oh,
And
greetings.
Fanny says, greetings, gangster ghost, too. Oh, my goodness. And then she goes, fun French fancy frolicking from my friend Fanny. Oh, and Twitch is back. Imbecile Irvin. I'm not saying these things, but I have to read them so the audience can understand. Matt Imbecile Powell. I didn't know that was his middle name. I always wondered. Fanny finally caught alive with one of the finest Kenty clubberers. Well, I don't know. There's some others that are really good. AJ is brilliant. Big Bad Bumper is brilliant. Truck Driving Billy. They all have, and there's probably someone I've missed out. They all have shows, and they're all great. Fanny. Uh-oh. Oh, I better get rid of that one quickly. Maybe the missing mod will see it and be very jealous. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised, Ghost, if Fanny turned out to be a man. That would be great, wouldn't it? Yeah. Hello, Big Bad Mama. We have a fan called Fanny has come on. She's so funny. Or could be he. You never know.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Any echo?
No echo.
Okay, good.
No echo.
Something's different.
Good. How's everybody doing?
Really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. What are you guys chatting about?
Oh, we started about one of your ones that you just put up. What was the one? The short one.
Oh, the one about Jeffrey Dahmer?
Yes, that one. And I just say it's so immoral. The funny thing is that his victims, right? They could be in hell and he could be in heaven, and that's somehow just. It's bollocks.
That's exactly what I thought when I was making it. And I thought, exactly. I mean, a lot of his victims were gay. And so as far as Christians are concerned, they're probably going to hell. But
Yes.
since he watched the Hovind DVD and said a couple words or whatever, and that all of a sudden he's cleared for heaven, I just don't understand it.
Yeah, no, it's just, he waved his hands and they're all off to heaven, and it's somehow just. And, yeah, you're
Big Bad
about,
Mama.
yeah.
Let me say hi to Fanny real quick, because Fanny is hilarious. So I just want to say hi to that person. Hi, Logan. What's going on?
I heard from Matt Powell before saying that Jeffrey Dahmer wasn't saved because he was given over to a reprobate mind.
How does he know? I mean, what does he know?
It's funny,
I mean, I don't
isn't it?
believe people are, I don't believe in heaven or hell anyway. So I think Jeffrey Dahmer ends up where we all end up. But how does Matt Powell know either way? I mean,
I don't know. That what he said before on stream. Someone asked him about Jeffrey Dahmer, about him being in heaven. Like,
oh my goodness.
that. What?
Have you talked to, I was going to say Jeffrey Dahmer. Have you talked to Matt Powell before, Logan?
No, I never talked to him.
Okay.
Are you reading the chat?
I
Big Bad
am. I am.
Oh,
That's
dear.
pretty funny.
I hope that a certain missing person is not reading this. She'll be so jealous. Oh, hi to you too. And then she says, this is the best. All my YT heroes are online and mention me too. Well, praise the Lord and send in the money. No, we don't want any.
Claude, you're going to start accepting money for your ministry?
No.
You can if you can if you want. What if you become super popular and you want to start a Patreon page or something?
If I did, the money would have to go to a charity because I have enough and I don't need to, so I'm doing this because I want to add to the people warning others about the Hovind. That's why the sole reason. So I don't want to make money out of it. And I mean it, as opposed to when Hovind says it. Yeah.
When has he ever said that he didn't want to make money?
Well, that's fine. When he's sort of saying it, I mean, you just can't believe anything. It's funny, I put a thing up about Kent Hovind was guilty of structuring and tax crimes, and I've explained why. It's a few minutes long, but Fanny has come up with the music symbol. At first, I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without Claude by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how Kent did us wrong. And I saw your balls, and it made me sing the song. Da, da, da.
That might be a new
inspiration. Yes,
a new song cover. If we could sing that.
Yeah. And then I issue I put up. I'll debate Kent Hovind any time on his tax crimes and the feeling of structuring. He gets to go first, one topic at a time. And some people don't realize I'm taking the piss out of, what he says.
Right, but you're also serious. You probably would debate him.
I would debate him on that topic. No problem at all. Both hands tied behind my back. Because what I wrote there is exactly right. And yeah, he is.
Well, and Robert Beatty has kind of issued a similar.
Yes.
I think it's about taxes, if I'm not mistaken, but I'm not positive. Well, maybe Robert Beatty has a couple of different challenges for Kent to debate. But anyway, yeah, don't expect a response.
No, well, the ghost contacted Mr. Hovind to see if he would debate me, and apparently the instruction was to call what is his name, Standing for Truth. Well, I'm not going on that channel. That's a jerk. I would go. My feeling is it could be on the Gangster Ghost channel.
Right.
Yeah.
But he won't. He'll say he will, but he won't. So he'll find whatever way to get out of a topic like that. He's all about people defending evolution at this point, which doesn't need to be. I heard somebody say recently that yes, they're upset because Kent has disproven evolution and dismantled evolution. And I'm thinking, what a joke. The theory of evolution gets stronger every day. There's more scientific evidence gathered every day to support evolution. And to think that Kent Hovind has somehow put a dent in that by YouTube debates is just silly.
Yeah. Well, Fanny has a lot of confidence. You would beat Kent in a debate. You would beat him like a ginger stepchild. Well, that's a bit rough, but
A
Fanny
what?
is like a
Oh,
ginger stepchild. A ginger, I suppose. What they call it over this way in the land
do they?
down under. They call them gingers, like mispronounced ginger to ginger. Oh,
Oh,
there's a
okay.
ginger, but it's all in fun. It's not serious. Well, I hope sometimes maybe at the school they get a bit of a. But,
Well, there was, I mean, I knew a woman who, when she was a girl, they used to pick on the red-haired kids that were just because they had red hair. I mean, that was the only reason. So I don't know if that's still a problem or what, but I mean,
everybody get picked on for different things. Some people are small, get picked on. It actually makes, if you're picked on at school, you become funny. You have to become funny, and
right.
to defend yourself through that. But Fanny says, "Have you ever read Ezekiel 23:20?" I could read it, I suppose.
Let's read it.
Yeah, let's have a read of it. And we better use the King James version because that's the only inspired one, according to KJV. Here we go. For she don't Ezekiel 23:20. 23:20. For she doted upon their I'll start a bit earlier than that. And the Babylonians came into her bed of love, and they defiled her with their whoredom, and she was polluted with them, and her mind was alienated from them. So she discovered her whoredoms and discovered her nakedness. Then my mind was alienated from her, like as my mind was alienated from her sister. I don't believe that for a step. I think he was thinking of his sister too. But anyway, yet she multiplied her whoredoms in calling for the remembrance of the days of her youth. I don't know which youth she was after, but one of them, wherein she had played the harlot in the land of Egypt. For she doted upon their paramours, whose flesh is as the flesh of asses. I don't mind a bit of ass flesh myself from time to time. I just don't get any. And whose issue is like the issue of horses. Oh, I'm not sure what issue is. I don't know
I mean, the baby.
Or maybe...
oh, no, issue could be like a liquid coming out.
Sorry, but we won't carry on anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have read that, purely for reference and research purposes.
Okay, so what happened there? I mean, there was a woman. Who was the woman?
I don't know who the woman was.
Okay, but she was all of a sudden a bunch of harlots came into the bedroom, or
yeah, by the looks of it. I think I'll do a whole study on it. And I should prepare like Kent Hovind.
Okay, yeah,
I'll read a sermon.
I'll look at that one too, and we can talk about it.
We can do a sermon on the mount. Sermon, yeah. Yes.
Way I can sub to Fanny.
Do what, Logan?
Sub to Fanny.
Oh, sub to Fanny?
Yeah. Does Fanny have a channel we can sub to? Did you say?
Yeah. Well, I would imagine. Fanny, do you have a channel with videos and stuff? Or
oh my goodness! Oh, I gotta get rid of that.
Are you right?
Lucky I'm a simple-minded man. So no, Fanny says she's got no vids. I think we're quite fortunate, based on what I just read. Yes, in fact, I think it's very, very, very lucky. You are such a naughty woman, Big Bad Mama.
Oh gosh, I can't even read that because
you can't. I take it's put me off my dinner.
Fanny's awesome. Oh gosh, yeah, we'll prepare a study of that.
Yes.
of that
It was like,
chapter.
when I read Baldy, and come out, you Baldy, come out, you Baldy. And the wolves came along and killed them.
The
Oh,
bears,
the bears came along. Yeah.
right? I mean, it was like they weren't there like 40 kids or something.
Something like that. They all got wiped out.
I mean, what
First,
a strange. It's I'm trying to like view that story metaphorically, and it's hard to even come up with some sort of a um, metaphorical meaning for that story with the bears.
Oh, maybe
And
you
I
can
think we're
ask
going to,
Brother
Claude, you'll have to read that for me sometime, and we'll put that one to
Yeah.
some.
I think we'll have to. Yeah.
Yeah. What
Would
did
you like?
Logan? I'm sorry.
That's right. Would you like to ask Brother Pike about those two things?
Yeah. Why not?
No,
Why not? No.
I'd rather I kind of take his sermons seriously because he's a very earnest young man. And so I'd rather just ask him actually, because I do have real questions about the Bible. And, the Bible has a lot of interesting things in it. I don't believe it literally, but, parts of it are really great poetry as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, with Christian, I don't want to like put him on the spot with verses that are going to be like, I don't know, what I would view as like gotcha or something, or you know what I mean? Does that make sense, Claude?
Yes, it does. And when you say it, I suddenly think about it. So yeah, you're right. And we don't, and I mean once because all these theists say that I'm a horrible person and stuff. But when Christian Pike said, "Oh, please don't play that song and take the Mickey out of it because it's special to me," well, you know what? I didn't. Yeah, because he's a good person.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean he's the real thing. Or if Faithful had, I wouldn't like confront her with the with the thing about the bears.
No.
It just wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. There's too many other like questions that I would have just based on his sermon. I think Logan.
okay. Would you
He does good.
ever?
He does really good sermons. I'm glad you're putting him on your channel. That's really cool.
Thank you.
Well,
Would you? Oh, I asked Mark. Not Mark. I did ask Brother Pike about that before.
Did you ask him what he said?
So something about justice. I don't know. Been a little bit. I forgot. But
It's a
yeah.
little different if you ask him as opposed to when I ask him because you're a Christian and I'm an atheist. So it kind of looks like I'm being, condescending or whatever if I were to, and I wouldn't want to do that to Christian in particular because I respect him.
I asked. Actually, I heard. I think J.P. Holden or some. Is that our guy? I heard before that they were saying that those guys weren't kids but young men and they were threatening that guy, I guess.
They were what? They were
Yeah,
young men?
threatening him. Yeah.
They were just calling him, they just called him Baldy though. They didn't even like hit him or anything.
I don't
It was
know.
Elijah,
I
wasn't
remember
it?
hearing. Yeah. Yeah.
It seemed like
I think so.
a little extravagant punishment for those people, whether they were. I don't think it said they were young men. I think it said they were children. But
I don't know. That's what I remember hearing from HP. You ever JP Holden? You ever heard of him?
HP?
Not HP. JP Holden.
Uh-uh.
He make these cartoons on here. Tecton.
Oh, okay. He's got a
Yeah.
channel, you mean?
Yeah. He's like big in philosophy too and stuff. And
Okay. What's his last name?
Holden. His first name's JP Holden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of J.L. Warren, but not JP.
Yeah. He's I think apologist.
He's an
on there.
apologist.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, G-Man's back.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've seen G-Man from time to time. I mean, wasn't he around in the old Brett Keane days?
Yeah,
I mean, I think he was Brett's friend, wasn't he?
yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I don't think I've interacted with him too much. I've interacted with Jill a little bit. Do you know who that is?
What's that?
Jesus is Lord. He goes by the name Jill.
I'm not
Never
sure.
heard of him? Not
It
sure.
sounds familiar. I'm not sure.
He's been around a long time, but I don't think he was in the Brett Keane circle, really.
Well, yeah. You could have that show when you want to. You want it Tuesday or tomorrow, whatever day would be good for you.
Well, maybe Tuesday we'll talk about it, and maybe Claude, when we get off here, I'll talk to you about something. And Logan, you can hang out too.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
I've got a few people to welcome to the show. First of all, Fanny's had to bail, and then Devon has said hello. Devon Phoenix. I don't know if anybody knows Devon Phoenix, but
Is there any relation to that guy who played the Joker?
I don't know if he can answer. But look what he says here. I like the
Devon.
Bad Mama channel. Well, we'll quickly get that gone. Okay.
Good to see you.
Twitch says I'm the biologist, and yeah.
Okay, Twitch. I don't know if I've run into Twitch before or not. I have to think.
Yeah.
Dustin said, I asked Outcast before, what type of geologist are you? And Dustin, he thinks you're just coming out of college.
Oh, I've just graduated college, like within the last year or so.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Okay. Even though I just had an entire career in geology in between my degree and now.
Now, Twitch is
Why
a
would he
biologist.
think that? I mean, does he think I'm young?
I don't know.
I'm not a young man.
You're only 25.
Twitch is a biologist. You see that there? Twitch.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, and there's Kuribo.
Oh, good. All right.
Hi, Kuribo.
And then Devon Phoenix says, would I debate C-Science Film Labs? Well, I'm not so hot on the science side of things. I mean, I know what's right and wrong. So I don't know if I'd be the right person to debate C-Science. It could be someone like you could be better, or AJ. Someone.
C-Science, though, is almost impossible. He's he interrupts and...
so he can come on this show. If he wants to, we'll have a discussion. He can come on the show. So that's what we'll say there.
Yeah, I mean, if I had some advance notice that he was going to be on, I would, because his big thing is that Lucy is a fake.
Oh.
Australopithecus afarensis. And so he's completely made up things about Lucy. And also, in his viewpoint, Lucy is the only Australopithecus ever found. He doesn't recognize that there's been, I don't know, dozens and dozens of individuals found at this point. What's that, Logan?
Sorry. Mark come out with a new video.
Mark did?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw something about it. I think he sent me a link, but I haven't got a chance to watch it yet.
Oh, and Aiden debated C-Science.
Really?
Aiden debated C-Science and
Bubblegum.
And Lupin was the moderator.
Oh.
And
it ended up in just a complete babbling,
something or other, yeah.
crazy babbling right?
Yeah. Lupin left in the beginning of it.
Right. Lupin left the channel to those three, and of course they started they interrupted Aiden, right? And you know,
Yeah.
it actually turned out funny, and I think Proverbs ended up yanking it from his channel so that you made a copy of it, didn't you, Lupin? I mean, Logan. I'm sorry, I called you
Yeah.
Lupin.
That's all right. Yeah.
I'm sorry for calling you Lupin.
Oh, that's all right.
Twitch has put up something. I took high school biology in first grade. Sounds a bit naughty to me, so maybe he's a biologist in a different way. And before that, Mr. Currybow says there's a thing Kent likes to do with catnip, condoms, and duct tape. I couldn't actually think what that might be. Devon later says, I watched Newton's apple as a kid one time, so he's obviously a scientist too.
And Tubian has an interesting comment here.
Yeah, I've got that up now, I think.
Lucy in the Sky, Kent always makes sure to mention that because, of course, it's said that John Lennon named that because of LSD. Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
Is that true?
He didn't. He said it wasn't true. He said that it was his child, Julian, had drawn a picture, and John had asked his son, "What is that?" And he said that it was Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and that's where the title came from.
That channel. They also, hip hop guy was there too.
Oh, hip hop. Hip hop seems like a decent guy.
Yeah.
Do you like hip hop, Logan?
Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Yes, not someone I'd go to for my science, but
no,
he's pleasant enough. He's not a nasty person, so I think that's
right.
Good. Caribou, I took your mum's biology in kindergarten. Twitch.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not sure what that means.
No, well, I can sort of guess a little bit. Devon used to think Claude and Mama were the same person. We're very good at, you notice how we don't speak exactly the same time because we can change voices just like that. Hey, Mama?
Right. And I can't even do a French accent though.
Yeah, so we can change.
We can change our voices.
Yeah.
People thought I was, people still think that I'm Atheist Junior, or people even said I was R and Raw before, and it's like, wow, that's a compliment.
It's funny because they're so focused on who someone is rather than what they say.
Exactly
find that bizarre. Why would you? Isn't it what you say that's important, and the evidence you provide, not who you are? What is the who you are is only because they want to try and intimidate. Yeah,
that's true, and it's just on the face of it, it's ridiculous because Atheist Junior is putting out all this content, and I'm putting out all this content, and it's like, why would he put out content on a less successful channel and put all that work into a less successful channel? It just doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No. And of course, it only applies. What is really the funny is where people use another name, and my name is not. It's not quite Mr. Claude Bawles, but people that attack me, saying, "Oh, use the name will be called cover to cover Hovind lover or some such name." So it's very hypocritical.
Right, and as you said, they never address the content itself or what the gist of it is.
Yeah.
Claude, how I know you're not AJ and Aaron Raw at the same time?
Well, yes.
Yeah, we don't know. Possible.
I thought that Sandra was manipulating the Kent the other day when she sat so close to him before they sang the song. And her hand, you couldn't see either of her hands. It looked as though he was a ventriloquist dummy and she was manipulating him. but I think he's
She's
still
always
rolls
been
the
that.
roost.
She's always been real nice to me, though, and like
Yeah.
inviting, me as Big Bad Mama. I mean, she said, I'll have a special seat of honor there and they'll, feed me. And it's like, that's kind of a nice thing to say after I'd made,
Yes.
all these videos and stuff. And I just think she's a nice person. I don't know,
Yeah.
other people
Yeah, no, I
I've
agree,
heard
yeah.
criticisms of her, but I never have had a problem with her at all.
I think
talked to her before.
You've talked to her before?
Yeah, it was a long time ago on Brett's show.
Oh, okay.
I think if you did go
What about
there, it
you,
would
Todd?
be quite passive aggressive, No, I've had interactions, but I get blocked on their channel, so it's very hard to have an interaction with her.
Yeah, I can't.
Have you ever talked to guy's name? Oh, Sal?
Bowel?
Sal.
Foul.
How do you spell it?
S-A.
Oh, Sal. Yeah, I know Sal.
You ever talked to him?
I've never talked to. I've only talked to him through asking him questions in debates, like when he was debating with Cindy against Aaron Ra. And I think Aaron was with Dr. Chris at the time, but I asked Sal and Cindy a question, and Sal was really gracious in answering it and thanked me for for my good words about Cindy and stuff. But I think he's a nice person.
Yeah. I talked to
You
him
like
too
him?
before. It was on Brett's show. Yeah, he's a nice guy.
Devin says he laughed so much at that Matt Powell Bowles video, Big Bad Mama.
Oh, was it the one where he was dribbling the basketballs?
I guess so.
There's Captive Desk. Hi, Captive Desk.
Hey.
Oh, Sal, he says Sal has blocked Captive Desk on YouTube.
And
there's AJ.
Yeah.
AJ, come on here.
Yeah, AJ. Anybody come on here. Captive Desk, AJ.
You can have 6 people.
7. You can have 6 people?
Yeah, at once. But that's fine.
Huh.
Oh, my goodness. Some have said some very rude things.
Who did? Currybo?
Dribbling Kent's balls. I think they mean dribbling is there when you play the football, you dribble it.
Basketball.
It could also mean other things, couldn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Well, I have to say that Matt Powell could dribble a basketball. I mean, if you saw those videos,
Right.
that is one thing he had a talent for.
Is he as good as you, Big Bad Mama?
He's better at me at dribbling. Yeah, I used to be able to dribble pretty good, but nowhere. I have to give him credit. The guy can really dribble.
I mean, I think he'd be good at drooling. He'd be a very good drooler.
I always wonder what would have happened if he would have been a successful college basketball player, how his life would be different. But I think he kind of washed out because he was a high school basketball star. But I think he washed out when he went to college, and then he took up this, quote unquote ministry. And then he had that horrible interview with Skylar Fiction where he just buried himself. Kind of started the whole. I think it was that interview that started his whole reputation as one of the biggest homophobic preachers in probably the U.S.
Yeah.
He'd be second paired to Pastor Anderson.
And he loves Pastor Anderson, right? Matt Powell does.
Yeah, he was best friends with him.
Right. And that tells you something.
Someone has put up some comments. I can't remember on which video, but when Hovind is saying about it's one that I've put up because otherwise you can't comment on his channel. So copy some of the things that are said about, you come to contact with the shit, and that's very bad for you and stuff. And I said, someone says, hasn't he ever heard of 2 in the pink, 1 in the stink?
Right.
So, I mean, people do wash their hands after these hot things, and they wash their hands when they wipe their burned ass. Otherwise, what
Claude,
happens?
AJ's asking for the link.
Oh, which oh, sorry, right. Here we go. It's coming.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, Kent always defines. First of all, gay people are the only ones that are having sex like that, which is a crock. And then he's also defining gay relationships as they're all about that kind of sex.
Yeah.
And instead of like talking about them being in a loving relationship and caring for one another, and Kent never acknowledges that kind of relationship can exist.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I put the link back. I put the link back up on the stream there now.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, that rant that he did that I posted, and I don't know if you posted it too, Claude, but that was like just the weirdest thing. Talking about hygiene for like 3 straight minutes.
No, he just
and then quoting the Bible, quoting like these thing in Leviticus as the proof, where who knows what that verse is even really talking about in the original text.
That's exactly right. Oh, here we are. Dave from Captive Desk is coming on. Hello, Captive Desk.
Hello, Claude. Hello, Big Bad Mama.
Whoa, what a voice.
And
yeah.
I don't know the other name there. I can't see the name, but hello.
Gangster Ghost.
Gangster
Ghost. Okay. Hello, Gangster Ghost.
How are you doing, Captive Desk? It's good to see you.
I just have one word for Hovind. Condom.
Yeah, exactly.
Condoms. I mean, one of the recommendations for such activities is to wear a condom.
He's probably against those, though.
And that's exactly what I think I put in. Might have been your comment section, Big Bad Mom is. And these are the same people that are against condoms.
Right.
There you go. It's what, catch-22 or whatever you want to call it. So
they probably almost view it like a type of abortion or something.
Kent is probably against the condom more often than he lets on, if you catch my drift. Hello, AJ. AJ is here with us.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
great.
Hello, AJ.
What a great day. We were so lucky.
Good seeing you.
Good seeing you.
Yeah, I'm gracing you guys with my presence.
You need a little blue. You need a little blue on touch up on your avatar there, AJ.
Oh yeah, that's true.
A little brush stroke in paint there. Fix it right up.
Well,
you had a pretty good successful stream today, AJ.
Yeah, I was surprised it's getting more views than usually my streams do. I thought nobody would watch it because of how boring the video was that I watched.
Well, you had Creaky Blinder in there, and he's just awesome.
Yeah.
I think he had over 100 viewers.
Yeah.
You know how I found Creaky, because Creaky covered Peter, that's all over YouTube, that had forced a oral encounter with a Bigfoot. So that's how I first found Creaky, because anybody that has anything about Bigfoot, I'm going to find them.
AJ, yesterday I had Cindy on my channel. Yeah, she came on. Claude talked to her and all that stuff.
That's good.
When the last time you talked to her?
It's been a while. I mean, I talked to her on Messenger, but I mean, as far as having her on doing a video with her, it's been a long time.
Uh-huh.
It was good to see her.
That video I did where I interviewed her was one of my first videos that really like got a lot of views.
Well, and that's where she first kind of really brought her story out, and kind of you brought it to people's attention, as I recall.
Yeah. I pretty much broke that news.
Do you remember that?
Yeah. I just wanted to comment on, you guys were talking about Kent, and I probably just the whole thing of him just being homophobic. I don't know if that's what you were talking about.
That was one of the things, yes. Yeah.
I just wanted to comment on Kent constantly talking about like the gay people get like feces on their dick. Like feces is stored in the sigmoid colon. It's not, unless you like don't wipe your ass or something, you're not going to get like, that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So he's just wrong there.
Yeah. And you know Stephen Fry, you know that great English comedian. Do you know him?
Yeah.
AJ?
Yeah.
And he says, for example, that he's not into that. That's not his form of having sex. So Hovind ignores that too. And he also ignores the fact that many these young supposed Christian women at high school who've sworn to protect their virginity, they use the different orifice for it. So he's full of it. Yeah, just full of
That's
it.
a good point. Yeah, they use the poop hole as a loophole.
Loophole song.
Oh my goodness, that was very
I never
good.
heard that.
The loophole. There's a loophole song by there's a couple young ladies that do a stand-up bit with the
Oh,
loopholes.
right. I think I have to look that up. I think I've heard it somewhere. It's funny. Yeah. So,
but I thought it was funny that Kent, because Kent pretty much references me in every single one of his videos now, and he brought up the thing about gay sex, which he talks about a lot, and he referenced the fact that I said, well, what about people who use condoms? And he just made a scoffing noise and like made a funny face at the camera and like didn't even like acknowledge the point. Like, yeah, well, what about that? Like, it totally refutes your point.
I don't know if you heard me just before you came on, but I said I have one word for Hovind: condoms. Condoms. Hello, condoms. Yeah. But these are the same people that are against condoms. So,
yeah, I put like a list of things on my one of my videos, basically saying that like do people use condoms? Can people like clean themselves, like douching or whatever, or just like being generally a clean person? Also, straight people have anal sex. And what you said, Claude, that was a good point too. I never thought of that, but yeah, Mormon girls do that. It's like the thing where they cut a hole in the sheet.
That's what I mentioned the other day.
Or soaking.
Wesley's here.
Yeah, Wesley Curry the second.
Yeah.
Oh, Wesley.
You
Hi,
remember
Wesley.
him, Big Bad Mama?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard of him? AJ?
Wesley's a really good musician.
Oh, cool.
But Big Bad Mama, I was watching Kent's video today because he did another Making Babies video, and I thought for a second that he wasn't going to go through his list of like, oh, they haven't responded to this one, they haven't responded to this one, they haven't responded to this one. I thought he wasn't going to do that because I told him about the video we did. But then at the end, he was like, oh, the atheists are over 48. They haven't responded to any of them. I was like, damn.
Oh, God. That's so disingenuous. Yes, right after Kent made his, I think, first or second Making Babies video, AJ and I worked on a video together. It was AJ's video, but I helped him a little bit on it. And it was about the frogs and the toads. And I even emailed Sandra and told Kent to watch it. And she said, oh, okay, I'll tell Kent. But meanwhile, he said, nobody's ever responded to my Making Babies videos. And he's such a liar.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time on that video.
Right.
And you helped me a lot. And that's the only reason I mentioned that to Kent in the open mic was for that reason. But he totally just went off like he was half cocked, ready to start shit talking me. And like he was mad during that whole thing.
He was angry going into it because you didn't say anything except that you covered that video and you just wanted to let him know it. And he goes, "Oh, you covered one of my videos. That makes you right." And then of course he went into his whatever you would call it.
Well, the
hate
first
speech,
thing he
basically.
said, the first thing he said was that I shouldn't make a video about making babies.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So he routinely was the one going the insult route, where I was trying to keep it on topic. He was the one who kept going there, and then he told Donnie like that. Oh, he won't quit. He's determined to defend his lifestyle. It's a death style. But I'm like, I'm not the one who keeps bringing it up. You are.
And of course, Donnie gives him, free reign at the beginning to get his insults out. And then when you say something to either defend yourself or just say something, Donnie's like, "Okay, well, let's get back on track now," or whatever.
Yeah.
He is the worst moderator I've ever seen. He's so biased. And the others, he has these mini moderators with the wrench. They join in the discussion, attacking the person who's speaking. And yet they've got the power of the person who supports, for example, he can making a comment. They stop it.
Well, Grayson has a wrench. Grayson is a moderator on SFT's channel, and he told me that they deleted a lot of comments and that he can see them. So I'm assuming there are a lot more comments about me, because the side chat was going. They were fucking going ape shit.
Yeah.
The whole time I was talking, especially praise.
I've been timed out. Funny. I've been timed out on Donnie's channel. I was like, really? I didn't even say anything that bad.
Yeah.
I'm permanently out.
Donnie's channel.
Yeah, so he's full of it. It's just nonsense, and he just blows smoke up. If when Hovind normally gives him an order, and he's he does it straight away. Move on.
I've been watching your videos, Claude. Some of them are, and I really enjoyed the ones that I saw. Like, I don't know how I missed that part where he is like all pissed off at those girls and has them move to the front of the room, because I watched that video, but I was skimming it. I was like, I missed the best part. And he was saying some pretty inappropriate stuff. I thought during the Making Babies Today also, he was talking about how the male velvet worm deposits his sperm on the skin of the female, and she'll just brush it off and get mad at him. I was like, Kent, you can't say stuff like that.
Not when like he's very inappropriate. Like if you or I said that, he'd be going off his brain.
Yeah, and I have a filthy mind, obviously.
Yes.
So when I hear him say something like, I forget what it was, but like, they caught the woman in adultery, but the man didn't come.
Yes, that's the one, and that was deliberate, because he's previously done summa cum laude or whatever.
Yeah, some cum
loud. And that's okay. And I wouldn't care if he wasn't such a prick and sanctimonious.
I say stuff like that in my streams all the time. I'm always making jokes like that, but. The difference is I'm not like some weird 70-year-old boomer.
Yeah. Calling the young girls, get up at the front now, faster.
Yeah.
I mean, but the good thing is those girls will hate him. They will hate him.
Well, and how old were those girls? I would be surprised if they were teenagers.
No.
Yeah, and he's talking about giraffes peeing on each other.
Yeah.
So no, just. Yeah,
I think that's just because there are pheromones in the urine. It's not specifically because of the fact that they like pissing on each other. It's just because that's how they exchange hormones.
Well, Ken makes it seem like it's golden showers for giraffes.
Yeah. Like,
well, it's the old story when people on and on about other people's business. It's usually because they're the ones repressing something. Because everyday folks just do not obsess about what other people are doing.
And
in what
position of bestiality.
Yeah.
He's the one always talking about animal sex.
and how big they were. Someone called the Hollywood sign is proof of the Nephilim has said something. How many people on the panel have allowed someone to die on their property, and how many gazebos did you get out? Oh my goodness! Oh, I don't know if we could, that was so sad. But once
Nephilim
again,
are Bigfoots.
Yeah, that what the worst bit about that, even worse than the drowning, as Kent calls it, drives me crazy, was his attitude to it. That was the worst bit. But the other kids had a blast, and
other than that, everybody had a great time. Come on down to Dinoland.
The surviving kids had a blast. The survivors.
Yeah.
Handing out his business cards to the people in the hospital.
Yeah. And those are the things that I have been attacking him for under this and other names, because, I got blocked from his channel. So that's the real problem. He has no humility or, what do you call it? Not sympathy, the empathy at all.
Yeah. So I don't feel like debating Kent again. I don't think anybody should debate Kent again. And going forward, I mean, I don't know if I would consider myself like sort of as a leader of this small genre of YouTube channels of like people who make videos about Kent. But I think going forward, the videos I want to make about him, I'm like, forget like this debunking on a scientific level shit. I want to make videos just exposing him for what a horrible fucking person he is.
That's what I try to do.
That's what I want to do more moving forward, because I'm pissed, honestly. Like, I really like that exchange I had with him last time really obviously soured my mood.
Yes.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Does that Donnie guy say anything to apologize for the way that sort of thing goes, or does he just run along with his friend Kent?
We talked on Messenger. Like, I think I might have showed Big Bad Mama some of the messages, but I basically was calling him out on Messenger, and I told him that Kent could basically say, "Oh, you're going to go to hell, you faggot," and Donnie would do nothing.
Yeah.
And since then, he sent me some messages, but I haven't read them because I just don't even really care. It's like he just doesn't get it, He doesn't get why it's a problem.
It's just business. Donnie doesn't believe in any of that stuff. He sees dollar signs, and he wants Hovind's audience when Hovind gets too old.
During that open mic, he was talking about the round 4 with me and Kent, like there was going to be another debate, because those debates between me and Kent, he knows that that's going to bring a lot of viewers for his channel.
Right. And at this point, the science doesn't even need defending. I mean, it's his points are the same script he uses, and everything he said has been debunked multiple times at this point.
Yeah, to his face.
Right.
I've been thinking about this, and maybe Big Bad Mama could help me like section out and edit a video like this, but I've been thinking about just making a video just like compiling all of like the really worst clips of Kent, like all of the really bad stuff, like the Brady Byram thing, and just making it into one video, like one big video, because I don't think that's really been done before. Like it has, but not like in the way I'm thinking of it. Like,
I'll send you some stuff about some of the racist stuff that he's done.
God, I've gotten so many comments on my video, Kent Hovind racist rant, of people saying, "Oh, this isn't racist."
They say that on my videos too, where he's making the slant eyes and talking about Chinese people.
Yeah, my video didn't show as much explicitly racist stuff as that. It's more implied, because he's basically saying that black women are fat and lazy and steal stuff, but it's kind of implied. He's not outright saying it.
He
must not be racist.
He knelt down by a black boy and smiled at him, and Sandra says that just shows he's not racist.
Well, and what was the story? What were those stories, AJ, that he told that he wrote in prison, and he would talk in this Chinese broken English accent, and they were, all the people were named these I don't know, stereotypical Chinese names. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure if I remember that one, but I know recently he has those slides where he talks about breeding dogs using artificial selection, and he does exactly what you're describing. I don't know if
That
you know
was
what I'm
it.
talking about.
That was the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, and he has that old video. The holdup of Kent's sentencing is that there's been a capital murder trial, so the trial keeps getting pushed back. But Cindy's going to court for Kent for the contract, the breach of contract in January. I think that's going to go in front of a judge this time. I do.
Interesting.
He has that older video where he talks about the black kids who didn't know how to swim.
Oh yeah, God.
Yeah.
I put that together. I put that footage in there, and this little kid's going under, and Kent's going, "Are you okay?" And he's flashing his teeth or something, and then I juxtaposed that with the kid that actually drowned there, because Kent was a lifeguard, and then he says, "Well, you know," in the second one where it's about the child, I think his name was Steven, drowning. He goes, "Well, I was a lifeguard, but I just got there 15 minutes too late or whatever." It's horrible.
Well, yeah. I mean, the kid was wearing street clothes, which he shouldn't have been doing. And I don't even think he knew how to swim.
There's no lifeguard anywhere to be seen.
There's no lifeguard because we have 12 lakes. Are you going to have a lifeguard at every lake? But the parents
at least have one at the main lake. I mean, the main lake is where most of those kids go swimming, where the dock is. And it's like you can have one of your acolytes watching the, kids.
Yeah, or at least when the kids are in the lake. Because it's a lake. It's not a pool. You don't know what's in a lake, it's
right.
And you don't know what the bottom is like, there could be vines at the bottom where you get tangled up, and stuff.
Metal stuff from all that crap he's got laying around.
Yeah, that's why they have people go swimming in pools. It's because lakes are a lot less safe and there could be animals in them, I don't trust his park to be totally free of snakes in the water, Like in Texas, we have water moccasins.
Texas? Lupin lives there.
Who?
You ever met Lupin, AJ?
No.
He's one of ProverbsGuy's people.
Oh.
Yes, I call him Loopy, with good reason. Yeah.
Did you watch the flat Earth debate that Grayson was doing?
Oh no, who was his opponent?
Flatzoid and some other guy.
Oh, okay. So it was a two against two.
Yeah.
And it was on Modern Day.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
I mean, it was fine. I mean, it was pretty much it went as you would expect a flat Earth debate to go. Like Grayson and them were providing good evidence, but they just hand wave it, like retro reflectors on the moon that we can bounce lasers off of and stuff like that. And they're just like, they just ignore it and say, "Oh, but you can't have gas. How can you have gas contained without a container?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just repeat that.
Well, Grayson wants to debate one of the Proverbs guys who is a flat earther, and it looked like it was going to happen maybe, but the guy has backed off and just said, well, Grayson is a mocker, and all he does is try to demean God or whatever they want to put it, but he chickened out basically.
Is that Achilles, or as I call him, Achilles? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, not a surprise. He's a very big nemesis to me. He drives me crazy, and I think I do the same with him. Yeah.
Grayson can afford to be a little cocky because he's pretty smart. So
yeah.
Oh yeah.
He knows what he's talking about, and when they're trying to dish out the baloney, he doesn't have much tolerance for
Grayson can talk about many different scientific disciplines, which is really good. I mean, he can talk cosmology, he can talk genetics. He even does, he even does some geology stuff too. So,
if you want to know a little bit more about him, I interviewed him too.
Oh, did you interview him?
Yes, I did.
Cool.
We had a really cool talk.
Because Aiden can sound, he can speak on everything.
What is it? Gangster Ghost, what is it?
Did you went to college?
No, I'm a high school graduate.
Me too.
I have some college credits, but I don't. I haven't graduated from college.
Oh, we would do a GoFundMe and buy you a doctorate or 4.
Yeah, that's
Dr. AJ. I think we're going to call you now.
$2,000 for a PhD.
Yeah, not from the Claude Bawles University. It's cheaper.
yeah, but I think
you don't need a degree in this sphere. You just need you just need knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that it's necessary to do YouTube. I mean, it helps, but I mean, Oh
no, I'm joking.
Yeah, AJ. Yeah. I remember that other day you were on the ProverbsGuy channel with Aiden, and Stephen kicked you for no good reasons because you said Big Daddy.
It was because I forget what the guy said, but he was like, "Oh, you could call this guy whatever you want, like some scientist or something." And I said, "Could I call him Daddy?" And then they kicked me immediately.
Yeah, that's the guy who reads the Earth is flat.
You were being naughty.
Okay,
being disrespectful. Disrespectful just means you're disagreeing. That's all.
Well,
it is.
These are some heterosexual men, so they cannot risk the idea of somebody making an off-color joke that even hints at something gay in their presence. They have to, shove those thoughts down and keep them buried deep within the closet.
Keep trying to shove it down our throats. It's like you're thinking about shoving down your throat a little too much there, buddy.
Just suppress it.
I find that hard to swallow.
Oh God.
No.
I recognize the behavior because I used to do the same thing. So I can recognize it. But like literally, like somebody's sexuality has nothing to do with their arguments or their debate tactics. No. It's so irrelevant. Like that's literally the definition of an ad hom.
Yeah.
Right.
And lately they want to know people's names, even the one with the made up names, they want to know other made up names, real name. Well, and I say, no, just concentrate on the argument. But they're very desperate. That shows they're very, very desperate.
Well, it's just a tactic because, Kent, he does this because he wants to antagonize people that are different to him. So, that's why he doxes people and gives out personal information. He just did it to Attorney Anderson for no reason. He's done it to me. He does it every chance he gets. He will mention where somebody is from or any personal information he can get. He searches it up on the internet. He goes to like those websites where you look up people's information and tries to find info about people. Like he did it to Aaron Ra. He did it to me. He looked me up on Google. That's how he found out that I was even bisexual in the first place. Was because somebody had made a fan wiki website about me, and it listed some information about me that they'd gotten off my Twitter. So that's the only reason he even knows that.
That's where you got your height wrong.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh, God. And he tried to make that to make that a point even.
Yeah.
Like how relevant is that to your argument? The fact what your height is, and it wasn't even your height,
Yeah.
Oh, AJ, I saw that one video you did, a response to Kent. It was so funny. But Kent's crazy. He said, "Oh, that's AJ. He pretends to be a woman, and
Yeah.
he had a beard on."
Yeah.
You're sorry. He said, "If I'm pretending to be a woman, I'm doing a bad job."
Well, I think
Yeah.
Ked has got a bit of a thing for beards and wigs. What about that guy that he got to do the role play for the part of Sandra? What was it?
Randall.
Randall. You know, wandering around, you know.
He got so mad when I made fun of him for that.
Yeah. Yes. Well, he doesn't want people to see that now, but of course it's been preserved and put up. But he's very embarrassed about that. He does that all the time, takes stuff down, you know.
Well, and then he reposted his brand new polished version of that same video. But of course, it didn't have his jailhouse friend playing Cindy in it.
No.
That's why I just can't have conversations with people like Hovind, because you know, he doesn't have any of those things against me. I'm just a straight guy. I've only been married once. My kids are mine, you know. I own my own house. It's not my mom's basement. You know, any of them arguments, they just won't work. And then they're just going to keep saying stuff until they reach that level where they start talking about things like your family members, your wife, your kids, or something like that.
Well, he'll say, "What have you built?" I mean, that's his big thing.
They'll keep going until they can. Yeah, they're looking for a button they can push.
And it's like he's actually talking about what have you physically, you know, what buildings have you physically built? It almost sounds like, and it's like I've never physically built a building, but I don't know why Kent. It almost sounds like that's what Kent's talking about when he talks about have you built anything? I've built all these buildings here.
Well, he loves talking about cars all the time, and I'm just thinking because I was a mechanic for a while when I was younger.
Why don't you go work there for a while?
Every time he starts talking about that stuff, it's like, you don't know nothing about cars.
But his daddy taught him. His daddy, when he got the girl for the double dating in the Volkswagen, and he survived his platoon, and then he come and teach Hovind everything.
My dad showed me how to change spark plugs in a car. And then there came a day when my dad brought his car to me and he said, "I can't work on these anymore." And then I fixed my dad's car.
Wow.
So yeah, there's a point where, I learned from my dad. It's like, don't mean jack, buddy. You get under the hood of a car nowadays, you're lost.
see, I don't understand that about Kent's story, because he said that they had been working on his car and there were metal shavings in the engine line or something, and his dad told him to change the oil, and he didn't change the oil, and the car broke down on the way home. I've never heard of a situation where if you don't change the oil, the car just like dies. Like,
well, if you got metal shavings in there, you got a bigger problem.
Yeah, why would you have why were there metal shavings in the system? Like, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
Because it ran out of oil. Then he dumped a bunch of oil in it. And he told his dad, "I don't know what's wrong there. The oil says full now."
And
Kent comes from a family of teachers and engineers. What a load of bullshit.
I had a customer that it cost him a lot of money to have the engine replaced in the car because the son kept driving it even though the temperature light was on. So he said, just out of curiosity, could you find out, what caused the antifreeze to all leak out and it overheat? So we did a pressure test on it. It had a loose hose clamp. So because he just wouldn't roll in somewhere, and any of us in any, gas station, especially back in the day when you had full serve, could have tightened up that hose clamp, saved Dad a whole lot of money. And that's why those red lights that come on the dash, we used to call them idiot lights, because when you keep driving with one of those lights on, you're an idiot.
Well, you know how Kent lies in his stories. What I was wondering is why he said that his dad did all this work on his Volkswagen, but then he told Kent, "Well, you better change the oil." Why didn't his dad just change the oil and finish the job? it makes me think that Kent is just blaming his dad for what happened. And like, if you had a date, why would you risk your car breaking down like that?
I think his dad knew how to work on cars, but Kent don't know how to work on cars.
What was the purpose of this story that he told?
He was talking about his first date, I guess with Joe or something. And I don't know. I think it's meant to be endearing or something. Like, oh, the light came on and it says you should have changed oil, you idiot, you fucking moron. And I don't know. Maybe it's like I should have listened to my daddy. I should have listened to my daddy. He was the last survivor of his platoon. The Japs bombed them during World War II. He got the yellow fever. He had the jungle fever, and the whole platoon died from jungle fever.
He was an electrical engineer at Caterpillar. I think he worked on the assembly line, actually. And his mother's educationalist. She taught in kindergarten. It's like all exaggeration. All exaggeration.
Yeah, it's like in Silence of the Lambs, where she says that her dad was a sheriff, and then he said, and Hannibal Lecter asked her, he's like, "Did your dad? Did he have a ring of keys on his belt? Like he was a night watchman, wasn't he?" And she's like, "Yeah." Oh, it's a great book.
Well, it's great when you honor your father, and when you're younger, growing up, like with my dad, taught me basics, basic hand tools and stuff like that. You learn things, but times change though,
and the way Kent talks about it is though he was the only one. I think it was a thing of that era. And by the sounds of it, Dad Hovind was a bit of a hard man, and of course Kent treated his own kids terribly. So.
Ken Ham is the same thing. His dad was a hardballer, and in a way, it's kind of honorable that he repeats everything his father said. But his father was getting his information from the flood book and stuff, and he just his little toy ark thing that he has displayed at one of his attractions. That's one of his pride and joys that his dad gave him. So if his dad said so, that's the way it was. And there are people like that.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Kent Hovind's dad was a young Earth creationist like that, because Kent makes it sound like he kind of found religion. I mean, I guess he was religious, but he found religion when he was a teenager, I think like in 1969 or something. But it almost sounded like he makes it sound like he was an atheist before that or something, which he wasn't.
His dad was a small-time preacher.
Was he?
Yeah.
Hovind?
No, Ham. Ken
Oh,
Ham.
okay. I was talking about Kent Hovind.
Okay. Yeah, no. I was just saying it's similar that the upbringing and the way they kind of say, well, my dad said so, and Ken Ham and Hovind have that same similarity. What's funny though is they don't really talk about each other these days because they had a falling out. So two of the big names in creationism had a disagreement, and they don't really talk about each other. So it's kind of amusing too.
Look what's happening on AJ's logo or whatever, avatar.
He's taking out some Hovinds.
No, we can't say that. He's on the crusade. Did you hear that the other day when Hovind said the Crusades, they weren't Christians? Oh my God.
Oh,
he just makes it up. That was just...
They were Catholic.
Ken had a great question the other day when he was talking about honor your father and mother, and somebody said, what if you have abusive parents? And Kent had no answer.
Yeah.
Which is a legitimate question. It's a really good question.
Well, he was abusive. He was abusive. There's no other way.
So of course it's just you honor them anyway. Well, okay, so just put up with the abuse.
Taking Eric to the dentist story is very clear on how he treated his kids.
Yeah, but Eric, got him back. He really got Dad good, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah,
and I don't think Eric did it. I don't think Eric did anything wrong.
No.
Took his underwear and Swiss Army knife even.
Yeah, I never understood what that's about. Like, is he serious?
I think
he said it's serious.
Yeah.
Why? But why would Eric? Did he just keep the underwear incidentally? Like, did he? Does Kent
There's
actually
Took it-
want the
They
underwear
took
back?
it all.
There's
They took
probably
it
a whole
all.
there's probably a whole box of stuff, and they don't want him to go back because if he goes back there, he'll be at the kids and everything. So he's just not allowed to turn up at all. I don't think Eric really cares about his undies or his Swiss Army knife, but I'm glad he has them because it makes it sound so stupid.
Yeah,
It's
makes
so
him look stupid.
Yes, it's just stupid.
Kent says that Eric stole something from him, but Eric bought the properties fair and square from the U.S. government. They were up for auction.
Yeah.
Right.
Eric's
And
just smart enough to pay his taxes.
And the rent money from those properties goes to support Joe.
Yes.
And Kent, his brother, called him out because he messaged his brother. I don't know why he showed these messages on screen. They made him look really bad. But his brother said, I don't want to talk to you unless you make a public apology to Joe and Eric. And Kent was like, I still support Joe because the property that the government took from me that Eric bought, the rent from that is going to support her. And his brother was like, that doesn't count. That's not you supporting Joe.
Right. And then Ken said they owe him an apology. He said that to his brother.
Yeah.
And then he said that if they gave everything back to him, he would make it a promise to support Joe. Well,
if he could.
Need that promise. Yeah, she doesn't need that promise from him. And as we know, his promise to take care of his wife is not even worth the signature on it based on what he did to Sydney. So, it's just laughable.
Yeah,
we should send Kent a bunch of underwear and label it from Eric.
Why would Joe go for that? I'm already being supported by Eric. I don't have to do anything, and rightfully so. She should be retired, and she should be sipping martinis poolside for the rest of her life after what she's been through.
Yeah.
But she's being supported by that rent money, and they want to risk giving that up so Kent can support her. Maybe, like Kent said, I'll support her if I can. You're not even doing it. And you're going to put a caveat in there.
Yeah,
and she wouldn't see a dime from him.
Of course not. That's why he wants the properties. He wants the money. Why does he need property in Pensacola? He doesn't live there.
And wasn't that the point of the Brady Barham letter to Cindy? You've hand over the rest of your properties, and Kent will then look after you. Yeah, right. So they tried to get all of them. It seems Sandra was a bit more bright because she didn't agree to give over any of the properties. Cindy lost a hell of a lot there.
Well, did you see my community post I made, Claude?
What was that on?
That was Sandra's Christmas birthday donation.
The $200.
Oh,
yeah.
To CSC.
Wow. Oh yeah, yes. I do remember.
Donate to CSC for my birthday or whatever.
Yeah, she put it up on Facebook, and somehow you can put that up as a community page on YouTube. Is that right? Is that how that?
Yeah.
Oh,
you can post images. I don't know if you need a certain amount of subs or whatever. I don't think so.
And somebody had given $50.
Yeah.
Was it you, Claude?
I think
it's over. I think it's over 100 or something because I can't do community on my other channel yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
people have given over 100 now.
No, he's saying 100 subs.
Yes, I don't think that Kent can be trusted in any of these things, and I can't understand why the people still make excuses for him. I really can't.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It's a cult.
He gets caught out time and time again, and yeah. Well, I suppose it's coming to the, within about 5 minutes we want to move on, and I've really enjoyed this bit of a chat. I should try and think of some structure for the next one.
Structuring.
We can have a topic here.
Hovind's terrible, and he gives me the creeps. And I've told Mama before, I always got to take a shower after I.
Yeah. I found this old debate on one of his old channels about Dr. Wagner, who gives him a lot of crap. And
yes,
virtually says it's quite sarcastic. Oh, well, you've convinced me now, Kent. I may as well just go home and all.
Yeah, it's one of the
that's
best.
very good.
One of the best
Yeah.
debates ever.
Yeah, and then he
Like-
brings up after Kent talks about taxes. He says, "Oh, well, there's a way around that for you, Kent. I saw it on your channel, but you seem to have taken it down now." And he talks about Kent as a capital letters. He's not a citizen, doesn't have to
Yeah.
pay tax. Oh, brilliant!
Yeah, he
Kent
did
doesn't
his
like that.
research. He knew all about Kent. And to this day, Kent actually thinks that he converted that guy.
Really?
Was that a really old one before he went to prison?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes, it
really
was.
old.
Oh, I remember that one. That was great.
Yeah. It didn't age well. I put it up.
I think it aged
extract of
great.
it.
I think it's
Well,
hilarious.
in terms that he got, in other words, he's talking about the tax thing, and then
yeah.
immediately, a few years later, he was in prison. That's what I mean by it didn't
Right.
age well. I can't.
The late great Bill Ludlow used to go after
Oh, yes.
Ken
I
Hovind
just
a
watched
lot.
that debate today. I just watched
That was a
debate.
good one.
Mm.
Oh.
And AJ, are you familiar with that potholer? You can
Oh, yeah.
take him. Yeah.
No, everybody
take
be
him
quiet.
on.
Everybody be quiet.
Oh.
Sorry. Oh, there's a lot of them.
Get your priorities right. You people who play video games all day while I'm out on my four-wheeler.
Take that. Oh, take
Pothole-
that. Hovind.
Potholer 54.
I love pot. Yeah, I
awesome.
love potholer.
Yes, I just think it's fantastic.
I literally used his argument in the debate I did with Kent, where I talked about, I walked him through like what a kind is.
Yeah.
I used potholer's argument.
Yeah.
I think I dropped that one. I got him. I got him right between the eyes.
Did you catch Zelda yet?
You've had a wasted life. You could be out on a four-wheeler winning souls for the Lord.
I'm not a gamer either. He couldn't use that one against me either. My PlayStation 5s get dusty.
So is mine. It's because I don't have the PlayStation Plus, and all my good games are on there.
Have you seen AJ now? He's saying that he's asked in his last couple of videos, anybody who's been doing the 7-7 club for the last 4 years to get in touch with Sandra, because it looks as though the donations are still being siphoned to so they must be going to an account that still can be manipulated by Tech Steve.
I don't think that he said they're still being manipulated, but he said that guy like is in jail or is gonna go to jail or something.
Yeah, he said he's in jail, and then his latest one, he's out of jail, but by the time he's charged with this, he'll be back for a very long time. Well, in fact, he won't, because you don't go to jail. It's hard to go to jail for that sort of thing now.
I did get him right between the eyes. Look at that.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh my goodness, this is violence.
Sorry.
Well, AJ, you ever heard of
Go ahead.
You ever heard of this guy named Skylar?
Skylar Fiction?
No, just Skylar. He's buddies with Mark. I see him a lot of times play video games on the stream.
No, I don't think I'm familiar with him.
Yeah, he plays shooting videos on Christian streams, though. When Father Charles is trying to give a sermon or something, Skylar's sitting there killing people with a rifle. It was a little rude, I thought.
Yeah, that is rude. I only shoot animals when I play video games.
And do you know what is speaking? We heard that name, Father Charles. AJ, do you know where he is lately? We've just lost him.
I don't know. I don't really like Father Charles. I think he has nothing of value to say.
Right. Yeah. We sort of feel for him a bit, but yeah, I realize he could have been stronger against that group, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he did flip flop on Hovind quite a bit, so that was a bad time for him.
He gave Hovind a huge donation when he went down there, though.
Oh my goodness!
The first time when he first went down there, he gave Hovind a big donation.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I know he would have gone in with him, wouldn't he? Well, he'd have lost all his money if he had.
Yeah, he was thinking of going in with him for sure.
But I'll give him one credit. Father Charles wants to do it and have a place for people without homes and poor. And, which is I would have a whole lot more respect if Hovind did take care, like Jesus is supposed to do, of the poor and needy. But he is actually very rude about the poor and needy, unless it's one of his good friends. And I think at least Father Charles was looking for something like that. I don't know, but anyway, it's not going to happen, so we don't have to think about it. Yeah. Oh, well, folks, unless anybody has anything else, we'll say goodbye. And I think you're going to just hang about for a minute, the mama, and we'll do a show another day, or maybe it's probably your turn to do one next, Gangster Ghost. Is that right?
Yeah.
He's got one on Sunday.
Oh, well, perfect.
And tomorrow.
Yeah. So thank
okay.
everybody, both in the chat and for coming on the screen. I didn't know what would happen. I maybe thought nothing would happen, but it has. So it's been really good. Really good to discuss with people. And
nice talking to you.
Yeah, good to talk to you.
Yeah, we're trying to win souls for a reason. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Atheist Junior too, and we're going to say good night. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.